I got some funny words for you today.
You got funny words, or are they just like uncommon words?
They're uncommon, but these are emotions people feel but can't explain. So there's a word for that. But I'm going to tell you what they are, and I'm going to tell you what they mean.
Okay.
But I want you to see if you can tell me what they mean. Maybe because you are like, so smart and everything and stuff like that. BJ is the smartest one ever.
Gee, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't think I got the highest IQ, but
you feel like you're pretty up there?
I'm proud of my IQ.
Okay.
I'm just going to say.
The majority of the people listening to us probably going to be like, how y'all don't know what that mean? Okay, don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Give me the meaning.
Okay. The realization that each passerby has a life as vivid and complex as your own.
Oh, hell no.
You don't know. He has no idea.
Go ahead.
Sonder.
Sonder?
Sonder.
And again, that's?
The realization that each passerby has a life as vivid and complex as your own.
Sonder.
Yes.
That's a nice word. Yeah. I like that.
I'm
going to plug that into my memory bank.
Okay.
And use that in some capacity.
Okay. Hey.
I like that.
We all learned a new word today.
Sonder.
Sonder.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Opia. I'm probably saying it wrong my damn self. So, Opia.
Is that spelled O-P-I-A?
Yeah.
Opia. I haven't ever heard of that word before.
The ambiguous intensity of looking someone in the eye, which can feel simultaneously invasive and vulnerable. You know, you look at people in their eye and they look at you so much like it's like they are.
It's like they looking into your soul.
Yeah, it's like they're giving you the eye contact, but at the same time, you're looking at them like, why are you looking at me like that?
It's like they look. It's like a different type of looking. It's like they trying to stare like right through you or into you.
Yeah, at least that's what it feels like, though, right? Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes when people look at you, it almost feels invasive. Like
I feel like you do that.
Do I got clothes on? Like why you?
You definitely are guilty of that.
Yeah.
I feel like you used to do that to me when we first met, and I would be like, "Why are you looking at? Why? Why do you have that look?" Okay, like, and it's not the snack stare. Okay,
it's not the snack stare.
It definitely wasn't the snack stare.
It's not the you look like a bag of chips. Let me open up that bag of chips real quick. No, it's a little different. Okay. Monocopsis. Sound like that could be something along the lines of somebody having some type of like psychological disorder, but I'm not 100% sure. Whenever got the osis in it, it kind of is some type of medical condition. Go ahead, though.
The subtle but persistent feeling of being out of place. I could see a lot of people. Okay, I didn't know there was a word for that.
I've been there.
Where you feel like you don't belong somewhere.
Absolutely.
But, okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you use that in a sentence? I experienced monocopsis.
Today I was going through an episode of monocopsis.
That's good.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody's like that. You might go to like an event and you just feel like you're out of place because maybe you just feel nervous, or the people that you're around just feel like it's almost like an out of body experience.
But
like,
you would explain it to somebody. What's crazy about that? You would explain it to somebody exactly that way. Like, I felt like I didn't belong, instead of saying it felt like monocopsis.
Eudaimonia.
Eudaimonia?
What does eudaimonia mean?
Babe, don't get me, because see, now you sound like some things that I don't feel like I need to have in my life.
It's an uncommon word with a deep meaning.
What is it?
It means the contented, happy state you feel when you travel.
The contented, happy state you feel when you travel.
Or when you're broadening your horizons, yeah.
What's the word again?
Eudaimonia. So when you took a trip to Italy, you were in a state of eudaimonia.
Okay.
Because you were broadening your horizons and you're like in a state of traveling. So it's like you're in a euphoric type of feel.
Okay.
I wonder if euphoria is related to that.
I have never heard
little bit.
anybody in life say these words before. Okay? And that doesn't mean that I don't hang around unintelligent people. I just never heard anybody use these words before.
Because people are usually happy, but you're in a different, like, happy state, like when you travel. Like, you know how it is when you're traveling.
Of course. Yeah. You just feel...
You feel great. You feel optimistic.
Like you're getting away from the world a little bit. Jouska.
How is it spelled?
Jouska.
Jouska?
Yeah.
It sound like it almost sound like like one of those events or a sport in the Olympics.
It does, doesn't it?
What does it mean?
A hypothetical conversation that you compulsively play out in your head.
So just trying to come up with all these hypothetical answers to already kind of be ahead of the game, I guess you could say.
Right.
To be ready, to be prepared.
Or like if you're going to ask somebody to marry you and stuff, so you try to play out what you're going to say in your head, like...
But those are very inquisitive words because, like I said, they're uncommon. A lot of people don't even know them or know what they mean.
Right. If you don't know, now you know.
Exactly.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Absolutely.
You know. Okay.
Knowledge is power, people.
That part.
Knowledge is key.
Hey, we all learned something new today. If you didn't know, don't tell anybody you didn't know. We didn't know together, okay? You weren't the only one. Just saying.
Yeah.
So.
We all learned this together.
All right, y'all. But you ready to jump into this today?
Let's go.
Let's get into this episode, y'all. Here we go.
Tell me if you like it when I kiss on your lips. Guide you through the valley of an ocean. Make you breathe in slow motion. Read your mind, come explore the galaxy. Have a little taste of my gravy.
What's good, y'all? I'm your host, Asia.
And I'm your host, BJ. And this is Extra Script.
Script.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, pulling up for another episode of Asia and BJ.
Yeah.
And if you guys are on here right now, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes from Asia and I. If y'all are streaming right now on any streaming platform, make sure you hit that auto download button. We thank you very much.
In advance, okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are we jumping into today, y'all? We got some good topics we want to cover.
We got
with
some
you
good
guys
topics,
today.
but before we even get into it, I just got to say something about this traffic here on 80 lately. This past day, like trying to move around, like the traffic was crazy.
Well, it's always crazy.
No.
Living where we live.
Right, but particularly it was crazy this last past day, and it actually made the news where they were trying to move that big transformer.
Again?
Yeah, they had to move it again to the power plant in Lake Ray Hubbard.
Yeah.
But it was just like another piece to add on to like the electricity infrastructure.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, if y'all would have seen this thing, it literally took up the entire highway. And it was going, probably 5 miles per hour down the highway.
What's that phrase?
Kid you not.
2 miles per hour so everybody sees you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, do you know how much it weighed?
No.
This blew my mind. It weighed 1.2 million pounds.
That's why, y'all, when I tell you, like, if you can imagine how.
A transformer.
Yeah. Well, 80 where we are is only 2 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a long ways, it's only 2-lane highway. So that when we were behind that before and we were like, what the heck is happening? Mm-hmm. Thank the Lord we had to get off.
This is the second time we got caught in, and we got caught in a few months back.
Yeah, well, we were coming the opposite direction though, remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that thing literally like wheel to wheel, I'm talking about the wheels of this thing carrying this transformer was like from one end, like even where it
was about 2 lanes.
Yeah, it was like 2 lanes.
2 lanes, yeah. 2 highway lanes.
And I kid y'all not, this thing was moving like, I said 5 miles an hour, like it couldn't have been going faster than that. And the entire time, I'm talking about traffic was packed.
And you had people blowing their horns and stuff like that. But they did put out, like in the newsletter, like they did like warn people ahead of time.
Yeah, but
maybe I didn't see it. I didn't read it. I didn't get the alert.
They should do this overnight. I'm pretty sure that thing took they probably started it overnight.
Yeah, they said it literally took the whole day, the entire day for them to do it. I mean, and for one, Dallas is booming, especially like the counties and like East Dallas.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is like with them adding this piece of like electricity infrastructure, it's saying that, more homes are going to get electricity more efficiently.
Well, I guess they can't get it there any other way. I mean, it's already here. It's just a matter of getting it here. Oh, I bet you they paid a lot. They paid a lot.
I can't even think about
to get that thing wherever they needed to get it.
Yeah, and then looking at the whole entire convoy with them moving it, I'm just like, it's just
was
crazy.
Gigantic. Yeah, when you see, I've never seen that before either. Like where they literally take up the entire highway, like the entire. You can't go around it. You can't skip it. You can't There's no way to go around it. Yeah. So yeah, I can only imagine like how people. And then it's in the middle of traffic. You got to factor in all of those things. Like this was in the middle. We were coming back. Remember we were
coming
like
noon.
No, babe. It was the middle. Like it was traffic. Like this was heavy traffic.
It probably
time.
started noon, but it was probably like about 2 p.m. somewhere around in there.
When we saw it, we were coming back from where. So they were on the opposite side of the highway from where we were, which was going opposite of the direction of the traffic. West. But still, like the traffic was just it was just
because we even brought that up too. We like, why are they doing this around lunchtime? And I'm like,
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but
they didn't even get it there until that night though. So that just goes to show you, like, and Lake Ray Hubbard is not that far from us. I guess
it's not that far, but they came from Victoria, Texas, which is like South Texas.
Yeah.
Past Houston.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that probably took like 5 days.
So that pretty much made like local news here where we live at. Like everybody was talking about it because they were like raising the power lines and the wires. They had to do all this stuff
to move it.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm sure we got like a lot of like electricity like experts out here that know all about like electricity transformers and what it takes to like actually like move one of those things. I thought it was really cool to know that they were moving something on the highway that was like over 1 million pounds. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, well, to see it as a whole and then to be a part of it and be in the traffic, you could care less about none of that, okay?
Yeah,
move it and get it out the way because it's in my way and I'm trying to make my way. Okay?
And you know how impatient we are. So at the end of the day, that's how it goes.
No, you know us Texans are friendly. We friendly down here, okay? We let everybody go in front of us when we trying to hurry up and be somewhere.
I don't let them. I'm not letting nobody
except
go past
BJ.
Me, except for BJ. Everybody except for BJ.
I'm just saying.
So what else is going on right now? I've seen a lot of like new headlines and things that's just popping right now.
I think the biggest thing like right now, like one thing that popped out, like I saw this morning when I woke up, first thing was that AT&T, like a lot of towers and stuff were down, like telecommunications.
Yes.
You know, I already had to jump in on this though. Like this is
gonna be good.
This is the one before the big one. Okay, like y'all, let me not put
what's going on though.
Fear into the atmosphere, but hey, I'm just saying, like. What is going on?
Because some people wanted to investigate to say that it could be like a cyber attack or something.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You think so?
I don't think so. I don't know.
You think their service is just janky?
I just try. Look,
the service is bad.
One day AT&T might sponsor me, so let me. I already done said enough. Okay?
We just stating the obvious. We just delivering the news.
I'm just saying what everybody else is probably thinking. That's it. But no, they're pretty solid, okay? Like, for the most part, to say what it is, they're pretty solid. The one, like, don't get me started. That was a trick question. I know by the way you looking at me, do not ask me anything about the cable or the internet. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, we're not even going to go there.
Okay? Because they might need me one day.
But I know that a lot of people this morning were trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah. If you woke up and your phone wasn't working, if you couldn't make calls. If you
I don't even know what SOS mean on the phone.
That's like your emergency. I
didn't know the song SOS, like SOS. But yeah,
that's like an
emergency
right. call.
Yeah, you're right.
SOS. That's the only call you can make.
So that's why I was saying SOS word was wrong. Well, like where your bars and all that stuff is at.
Yeah, but what was it though? Was there something in particular on it?
It was saying SOS because when
is that what the message was?
No, the first place I saw was in Facebook. So when I was like, why everybody talking about AT&T and the phone, and it shut down. And then when I saw it said nationwide, and I looked at my phone.
Oh, it said SOS there.
Right there, yeah.
Oh, I've seen that before, though.
I've never seen it.
Oh, well, I only seen it that one time I was in the airplane, and I should have had it on airplane mode, and it was said SOS, and I was like,
I think that's why our bill was like $50 more that month.
Let me put my thing on SO on this airplane mode because I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Why say that?
You were bad at that. That's why the bill was like $50 extra. I was like, why?
I know you're not the one talking.
That shit roaming like a bitch.
No, don't do that. Okay.
Don't do.
Yeah, no, don't do me. Don't do me. Okay, you the main one, cause y'all, BJ, I'm just like you know what roaming is. You know how it happens. You know how that can take advantage of you real quickly.
I almost got caught internationally when we was international. I was like, ooh.
Why are we in Italy and you don't have your dang on airplane mode on?
I know. I was like, oh, I gotta cut that bad boy off.
That's why the bill was so high.
That was crazy. No, I'm talking about the bill before that.
No, I know better. I know better.
But yeah, that was crazy though. Just to see how many people complaining about the cellular service. Today should have been a very, very great day, a very productive day. Because for half the day, nobody could use their phone. I feel like
that's crazy.
I feel like the highways, the roads were a little safer because people paying more attention to the road than their phone.
Perhaps. Well, they say they have restored all services. Okay?
About damn time.
Yeah, I know. But I think it was across all the networks. So even like the prepaids, the Verizons, they don't have Sprint anymore, but all of that, everybody was out.
Another funny thing that I saw too, everybody was like, man, shout out to T-Mobile today.
Oh, yeah, T-Mobile was one that wasn't affected, actually. T-Mobile was like the only one. I think it was T-Mobile. Wasn't there another one? It was T-Mobile and there was one more.
Some other one. I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that I hadn't heard of, I don't think. But I know, T-Mobile came through today.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, who was affected by that? I mean, waking up in the morning and your phone don't work.
Yeah.
Because, people are so used to a certain routine.
Oh, I just think in general, like the world would be fucked if we cannot have cell phones anymore. Like, completely. I don't know if people know how to function. Like, what would we do if they just took away cell phones, electronics in general, iPads, iPhones?
Some people will probably feel like their value of life has been devalued.
I feel like
unfortunately,
it'd be like living a part of the Stone Age or something. Like that's how you would feel, even though we way past that at this point. You'd be like, what am I doing with my life?
But we need to do like a real social experiment where everybody just has to purge themselves from technology, and I almost kind of like dial back and like go back to what, like 1996.
Yeah,
before. And everybody have to like live a month
with the brick phone.
With that too, but everybody has to go back to like how technology was in 1996 and see if you can last for a month.
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I don't know. I maybe some because especially like maybe our older generations probably will be like, oh yeah, I could easily.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Give me a fishing pole and a boat, okay? I'm good.
I don't
give
a damn
about nothing.
I didn't need this iPad no damn way.
Okay, I don't know how to work this thing anyway. Okay, but
our Generation Z's, like our younger people, even like us,
they would go crazy,
especially like us, because it's like we were around for like that big technology boom.
Maybe people will be more kind. You don't have access to be internet gangsters. You can't go and harass anybody. You can't bully anybody online. You can't, you just have to find something to do with your time.
You can't be an internet gangster.
No, you
today.
can't. You can't be none of that. Okay, you would have to go and really find something to do with your time every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go outside. You got to go walk your dog. You got to spend time.
And think about how that actually affects like kids all the way up to adults.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, find something else to do with your time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why sometimes people, have like certain health conditions that they have like these days, while like certain things are on the rise, just because I just feel like people are more stationary these days.
Yeah, well, these 5G grids that they've been putting up lately, there's a lot of things and speculation around that in itself, walking around with phones in your pockets and your purses and having all these issues and health issues. And yeah, I don't know how true it is.
You're talking about like the low radiation things of that?
Yeah. I mean, like I got into that for a little minute and it kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it applies to a degree, because just like everything we use has some type of like low radiation.
Yeah.
Whether it's a microwave or the air fryer.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Right.
it's so many things. But just like you said, you having a device on you like that 24/7.
Right.
How does that actually like affect you like long term?
Yeah.
You know,
Complicate things like medically.
but I would love for somebody to do like a social experiment where everybody really had to like I said, fall back and purge themselves from the electronic devices. Like what would the world be?
Be careful what you wish for. Okay, don't say that out loud. Don't say it no more. Because it might, they'll give it, will take it away. Okay?
Right. You are right about that.
We'll purge, all right. It might low-key piss a lot of people off. They might make them go crazy. So I don't know. I take that back. I take all of that back. Nope. Anyway, let's jump into this next thing. I saw this just the other day. I was actually scrolling on Instagram and I saw that Machine Gun Kelly. We all remember Machine Gun Kelly, especially if you follow Asian BJ.
I don't know much about Machine Gun Kelly. I just remember when
either.
he made the headlines because him and Megan Fox were dating. That's probably really like the
Really?
last thing I remember from.
She dated him?
They might still be dating. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Megan Fox?
Yes. Y'all, are they still together? I don't know if they still are an
my.
item. I don't know if they still rocking with each other, but
Okay. You know, hey, I mean, some people,
what the hell going on with Machine Gun Kelly?
whatever floats your boat. Okay. Did you see this? He tatted his body like black, like the top half of his body. You know how people are getting these all blacked out tattoos? So the article, I found an article about it.
Crazy.
Machine Gun Kelly debuts shocking new tattoo. Fans accuse rapper of wanting to turn black. They put in quotes like, that's kind of messed up. Just because he has his blacked out tattoo. But if you look at him, though, like literally the tattoo is black.
I see it.
Yeah.
That looks crazy.
Fans are mourning the loss of his Cleveland-inspired chest tattoo, and others are accusing him of wanting to be black upon the reveal of his massive blackout tattoo. The Grammy-nominated Bloody Valentine rapper showed off his new art piece Tuesday on Instagram, which turned his entire upper chest black, including his nips. And also,
Except the nips.
I didn't want to say the whole word. I just including his nips, okay? And also covered a majority of his arms. The 33-year-old's previously colorful tattoo peak out of the cross design created by the negative space on his chest. The tattoo was created by Rocks and Cats, who are both globally recognized Black worn-only tattoo artists with over 5 decades of combined experience, according to their official website.
It sounds like simple, but I don't think that's particularly like simple to just do.
I mean, if you look at it,
that
though,
should look painful. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like
Right.
it looked extremely painful to have that much color in your skin.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even. No, there's no way. You're right, though.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't just let just any type of tattoo artist do like that type of a massive tattoo on me.
I don't know if
Like,
there's
I heard
any ties to it. Is there any ties to that? Because wouldn't that be like something that the person that does it would be like, well, I can only do, half a shade a day for over a period of 3 months.
Yeah, it looked like that took a good amount of time.
Like you couldn't just sit and do that all in one time. Like
no, you probably booked like 4-hour sessions here, 6-hour sessions, as much as you could possibly take. But with him having as many tattoos as he has, he probably could sit there for a good 5, 6 to 8 hours if they got time to sit there and work with him.
I'm not gonna lie though, like looking at it though, I mean, yeah, it is all black and I really don't know what the point of doing that is, but like it kind of does kind of look kind of cool though. I'm not gonna cap. Like he has like a cross like right down the middle and then it's like, yeah, you can see like little peaks of the tattoos that he had before. So it's almost like you're looking through blinds, but he's in all black and he's not black.
Like they got almost like an overcast over his tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it kind of looks fire though. I'm not gonna hold you.
I don't know. I really don't know. Like I'm kind of on the fence about it because I'm gonna be honest. He looked like the Black Panther, like the suit that the Black Panther got. He looked like the Black Panther.
Is he his back or is it only on his chest?
I think he's trying to create like a superhero costume or like how the superhero suits that they be having on.
But
That's what
there's
that shit look like.
No, because you can't say that, because then that makes me think of the person that wanted to look like had the lizard tongue thing where his tongue moved like.
Yeah,
Like-
and his tongue is split in half.
And then he had all these little, like, I'm not even going to talk about him, okay? Because it's not about
A lot
him.
of people know about that though.
But
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
But there's always like one person trying to create a new trend. And I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen somebody do this. I've just not seen it on this scale, like where his whole, like I've seen somebody do like a black sleeve.
Like an arm part, but
like
not
the whole arm
but
is
not
black?
all of, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
Gosh,
about.
though.
Yeah, but Machine Gun Kelly look like he trying to be a superhero.
Maybe.
He might be turning into a superhero.
He might be that.
What the hell that shit look like?
Shoot, he dating Megan Fox. Like what? Shoot. I mean, Megan. Y'all have to look and tell me what y'all think about it. I'll make sure I put it up here on the screen for y'all
That
to
does
see
look
as
crazy,
well.
though.
I think it's kind of cute. It's actually kind of like cool looking the way that he did it, but I don't know what other people think. There's no way I could sit there and just let somebody color me black like
Not
that.
coloring. It's a lot of ink, babe.
I ain't doing that. Also, in entertainment, I've been wanting to touch on this, but I've not seen anything about her. Wendy Williams.
I know. This headline has come out saying that Wendy Williams diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia. Now, like the last time that I heard about this diagnosis,
What is that?
And this disease, they were talking about like Bruce Willis had it. Frontotemporal dementia, or FTD, refers to a group of diseases that primarily affect the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, the Mayo Clinic said. It is usually associated with behavioral and personality changes and difficulty with language. It's definitely like a debilitating disease that nobody has a cure for.
So does that have anything to do? Because remember, she passed out on stage like a long time ago.
When she looked like she kind of stumbled, like she was about to faint.
She did. Didn't she? Like, I
can't
thought
remember.
that actually happened while she was recording. They were actually recording a show when that happened.
I do remember seeing that clip.
And she kind of stumbled back and fell back. And
But some people thought that she was playing though.
no, she was not playing.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that was like the beginning of all of this. Like,
Kinda
maybe I think anyway. I'm not. That's
Of the
not.
downward spiral.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the article says, and this is from NBC News, it says, former talk show host Wendy Williams has been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, her team said in a statement Thursday.
Wow.
Actually, she was diagnosed last year after undergoing several medical tests.
No.
Her team said the conditions have presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. Wendy would not have received confirmation of these diagnoses were it not for the diligence of her current care team, who she chose, and the extraordinary work of the specialists at Weill Cornell Medicine. Receiving a diagnosis has enabled Wendy to receive the medical care she requires, Williams' team said in a news release.
That's so unfortunate. That was so unfortunate because me personally, I just feel like, regardless of like what you have done, or at least in her field, like she's still a person at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And maybe she didn't always bring out the best in like news, or she kept things interesting, spicy, entertainment, always brewing, and perhaps maybe mess a little bit as well. But
yeah, call it for what it is.
I really do feel, I hope and I pray for her to, just better health and to take care of herself and her body. And she has the right people around her to really, keep her safe and build her back up in the best way that she's able. I don't know like how debilitating that is, but I feel like over time it just sounds like something that progresses and it gets worse.
Yeah,
and
if
worse.
it's saying something about your brain and
Obviously with dementia,
it's something that's you can't reverse that.
Right.
Yeah.
So shout out to Wendy Williams, man. Like,
and I went through like some of the comments, under the news article, and like the hate that people spew. Like, for one thing, just like what you were saying, just piggybacking off of what you were saying regarding her and, her perceived image.
Yeah.
A lot of, Wendy made a lot of enemies. She rubbed a lot of people the wrong way a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it's like now
she did that.
You start going through comments and you start seeing what people say. It's like people say some of the most vile things when somebody is down.
Of course.
And my whole thing is like, why kick somebody when they're down?
Yeah.
They're like, and people are saying things like, well, this is her karma. Well, that's what she get because she was messy, because she was doing this and she ruin people's lives and things of that nature. And I'm just like, yo, like people got to be really, really careful by what they say about other people when they're down.
You know, but go back to that whole internet gangster thing. That's why technology should be. See, you need to take the phones away. Okay.
Or just disable the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, take it away because you know you just got heartless people out there. People just don't care, and they don't care. Like the craziest part about what the internet is, there's nobody to say you can't post that. You can't.
There's no filter.
Right. There is no filter, and it's undefeated. Like it doesn't matter like how good of a person you try to be or what you are outside of your entertainment self of what people see or what they perceive you as, and it's just like at the end of the day, like she's somebody's mom, somebody's sister, somebody's aunt, what whatever she's related. Somebody cares for her, and y'all like if you're on here just straight up being like,
especially with
that's
someone,
what she gets basically,
right?
That's
especially if somebody's going through something where they have like serious medical conditions,
right?
Like I said, I got a lot of love for her as a person, but I didn't care for like her show. And what the show was about.
I think a lot of people will probably agree with you on that though.
And I even seen comments where people are saying like, "Oh well, this is just the chickens coming home to roost," and I'm just like,
"Oh God,
you should delete that shit like immediately."
Right?
Like grow up, have some maturity. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, people. Yeah, that's just gross. Like it's gross. I feel like I would be scared to post something like that, and then not think that.
And have your name attached to it.
Yeah, you know how you used to always be, you call in sick, you call in sick, and it's just like you don't want to say that your kids are sick. You don't
because you already used that shit.
You don't want
how many kids you got?
So and so got into an accident because you be scared because you said that like perhaps it might come back to be true because you put it out there in the universe like that. You know what I mean? So why say that to somebody? That's why in my head I'm just thinking like in comparison, there's no way I can get on there and be like, that's why your kids, your mama is
exactly.
I could never.
Right. I feel like that too.
I could never.
Even if you thought it in your head, I'm not finna put that out in the universe. I'm not finna put it out there so anybody can sit here and look at me and judge me based on that one comment that I said. I'm just hoping for the best for her. I guess like seeing this headline, this was one of the things that I was hoping that it wasn't true. Prayers
and thoughts and prayers go to Wendy Williams, y'all. Like, let's not kick people down when they're at their worst state.
Absolutely not.
That's that on entertainment news, okay? Like we've kind of been touching on like this whole border crisis, everything that's been happening, everything that's taking place with the border. I mean, we've all been hearing about it, right? This is a little clip that I found on Twitter. It's on Twitter. This is Dr. Phil and Mr. Joe Rogan himself. And Dr. Phil is conducting an interview, but I thought this was interesting. Now, this was actually found on Chief Nerd on Twitter, okay? Like if anybody was wondering, because I do see that at the bottom, so I'm going to plug that in, okay? But listen to this clip. Okay. I saw this and I was like, what? I didn't even like think that this was something that was actually like, even if it's not true, just the thought of it possibly being true should scare you to the core.
Yeah.
Okay? So
shout out to Dr. Phil and Joe Rogan too. They always got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Listen to this, you guys.
Okay.
Here we go.
These children that are coming in with someone that says, I'm their mother, aunt, uncle, or whatever, we have no way of verifying that.
We do not. We used to. Under President Trump, we had rapid DNA testing. That's been done away with.
Are they given money, these people that are released into the country?
So it's our taxpayers that ultimately facilitate the travel. But yes, travel is facilitated and they are given all the necessities that they need.
But that could be a trafficker.
There's a very good possibility that they're being trafficked, that they're going into the sex industry, or they're being forced into the sweatshops.
And we know that. We knowingly are spending our tax dollars to sell children into sex trafficking.
Man.
How under any theory is that okay for us to be spending tax dollars to traffic children?
Holy shit.
Now, this is the head guy on the border. And I asked him when this went on a little more, we went in more depth. You're on camera here, right? you just said we're spending tax dollars to sell children into sex slavery. And he said, yeah. I said, why have you not talked about this? He said, nobody's ever asked me these pointed questions, but I'm grateful that you're asking them now. That's how out of control we are down there. We are paying money to take these children and sell them into sex slavery. They come in with these addresses written on their bodies, written on their arm, and we call up there and say, do you know so-and-so? Yes, we're waiting for them. Okay, they'll be on a plane or a bus, and you need to pick them up. And I ask him, so some pimp or trafficker or whatever is picking them up there, and he said, we are knowingly sending them up there for that. Oh. And he said, it's terrible, but that's what's happening.
He said knowingly.
Woo!
That's damn near inflammatory right now for me.
Whoa.
That's and not just that, but it's eye opening too. Very eye opening to really like get a glimpse in someone sitting here and telling you what's going on, and not just that, but it's almost they're pretty much encouraging it, allowing it to happen. And not just allowing it to happen, but using taxpayers' dollars to help them travel to wherever they're trying to get to.
Hold on. Let me play some more of this.
Yep.
There's just a little bit more.
That's insane. That is insane. And there's no way of verifying if their parents they're going to or an aunt they're going to. There's no way of verifying it. And
I asked him, he said no.
Now, what justification could possibly exist where they would stop doing the rapid DNA test? What possible justification would there be to stop that?
It makes no sense because if they find out, well, this isn't their parent, then, okay, what are they going to do with the child?
Right.
And so
right.
I guess don't ask, and then you don't have the responsibility. But they're sending these children up there, and he's saying we're knowingly sending them into either a sweatshop or the sex industry up there.
Wow, that's even hard to watch.
Because my first thought before I watched this entire clip, as he said that, I was thinking, well, why wouldn't they do DNA tests? Like, why wouldn't you come over here?
I didn't even know that they stopped doing it.
Right. And if you're walking over here with somebody, with a child, and say, hey, like, we need to make sure that you're the mom of this child, or like that this child just wasn't scooped up somewhere and say that this is your mommy so y'all can go together, and then they're just whooshed off somewhere and then never to be seen from again and sold off into like no man's land, like for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
probably.
and it almost feels like they don't even want to even deal with the issue of them finding out that it's not their parent or they're not related to the child, because then it's like, well, just like Dr. Phil said, now what do you do? So now they're pretty much on a don't ask, don't tell type of thing.
Yeah, but I just...
Because they don't want to deal with the real issue that's going on right now.
But what? But
they don't.
I just... I almost want to say, like, it sounds like it would be something that would be put in place to not have to ask those questions, to not have to follow through or anything of that nature, because then you got to think about, like, okay, well, now we have a kid that doesn't belong to anybody, so now what? Like, now we have to keep the kid here and we take care of the kid here, or we send the kid back, but that's still money we got to pay to send the kid back, like, and this just continues to go on, but that's scary to think about, though. Like,
yeah, and it's really
because there's
like
a high probability that that's a lot of that going on.
That is very, very gut wrenching,
especially after watching like Sound of Freedom. Like, you haven't had a chance to see that.
You told me about it. I'm so apprehensive to watch it because
man,
it's just gonna kill my little spirit just to see
all. Oh my gosh,
the atrocities that they're doing to children.
I feel like, I literally have goosebumps. Like, I can feel them going through my body, like thinking about that and how easy it is to just do that and get away with it and then never be caught. Like, you probably have a whole organization set up behind something like this.
Absolutely.
You know, where this is the business of business. Okay.
Absolutely.
Literally, like, Americans are paying for the business and they're the ones that are collecting just
it's
cha-ching.
One, it's an international problem, and it's an international business that people are obviously
it's $1 billion, like,
making billion dollar industry, you know. And
there's a lot of money involved in that.
Absolutely. And when I'm sitting here watching it, I'm sitting here thinking, like, so I could just be anybody with a child, and they don't know if it's my real daughter, they don't know if it's my son, and I can just move around and travel and get the expenses paid for by the tax dollars, and nobody gonna sit here and give me no rapid DNA test. They not finna prove anything.
Yeah.
They don't know where the child is going to. They don't know if that's really your uncle. They don't know any of that stuff.
Do you think that's like everywhere though? Like everywhere that this is going on, like in terms of like this border crisis? Because this obviously just can't just be Texas. It could be California, it could be New Mexico, it could be Arizona, it could be any of these states where they're coming in here.
I'm sure there are some hubs, you know, in a lot of like major cities.
So there's no like precautionary measures into the whole DNA thing. But obviously, again, that's still more money that you're having to come up with for these DNA tests. And I mean,
but I feel like when that was in place, it was a lot more effective. If I can prove that you know, you coming across here and you're saying that these are your children, and it comes back saying proving that you're not the father, no pun intended, Maury. You know, then you know, that's gonna raise some eyebrows.
The extent of the cost that's probably having to be involved and stuff like that. When you talk about like, you know, DNA test, STDs, like lice, whatever test, right? Because obviously these are people that are coming into the country that are just skipping a line and living a life. Or how many of these people that are coming over here that are skipping through all these processes, that are getting by and bringing stuff in general like that, whether it be the whole trafficking thing or it's STDs or it's contraband or like all that stuff. We've heard them talk about like not even having to go through the scanner at the airport. You know, like it just seems like there's a lot of things that we're
as far as just like the screening process. It just seems like there's some holes in the screening process.
Yeah, almost like, you know, I don't know if all of this was just completely thought out before all of this was allowed to start happening. Like, I feel like there was good intentions behind it, right? Like, we're good people. We try to be good Samaritans for people. We obviously don't want to do anything inhumane to be like none of that, right?
Okay.
How much of this whole process was completely thought through to where it continues to maintain the security and safety of people in general, the American people from the outside coming in, inside going out? Because I just feel like as we sit here and we talk about this, like there's so many holes, there's so many workarounds, and there's so many things that
loopholes.
Almost is like, I almost feel like we've let down the guards of safety here, like to some degree. And I'm not just basing it off of just this, but in general.
Yeah,
like,
because
think about that.
there's
like,
so much other things that's going on that we see that's going on at the border. That's allowing people to skip the line. You're seeing people getting through the process. You're seeing that the process is already flawed. So it's like, how do they actually have to go about it, to have these processes in place to really make sure that the border is secure and the people that you're letting in are the people that need to be coming in here, you know? And you said it already, it's $1 billion business. I feel like they're going to try to keep it from happening to some degree, but when it's $1 billion business going on, people going to allow certain things to happen.
People got their hands in the pot, basically.
To keep it going to some degree.
You think so?
Absolutely, because if that wasn't the case, then I feel like a lot of this trafficking, a lot of it would have stopped. It's not that hard to try to stop it. Like I said, I don't think it's that difficult like people are saying that it is. I feel like it's just going to take the powers that be to really, like you said, put the right process in place to make sure things are secure, to make sure that it's not happening. Because
But that's
if
what
you
I'm
don't want it to
saying,
happen, you can make sure that it don't happen.
I just feel
To
like
some degree.
there's a lot of loopholes here. The whole ID thing. Now we're talking about the DNA testing has been taken away.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
you know, Americans are paying tax dollars to house these people and, you know, keep them off the street type of thing. Like
We're almost to some degree funding the operation.
right, and we now have a whole workaround for the protocol of people who are trying to do the right thing and, you know, get their status or citizenship the right way and go through the whole protocol of the system. Like at this point, like I just feel like the walls of safety are being degraded on a daily basis, like right in front of our eyes. My biggest fear, like our monetary system, like the money that taxpayers are paying, the debt is already through the roof, like in general, like, you know, now we're going around the workaround with the whole airport thing with not having to show the IDs. And then we have people coming in here with just anybody's kid, perhaps, and sending them to wherever, like to anybody. Like then there's that. Then, you know, I don't know how far, like I said, like the criminal situation, because like we talked about this before, like how do you verify somebody's criminal status? Like, well, we don't know what they did wherever they came from, like, but you can go here though. We gonna hook you up until you do something, perhaps, you know. So then there's that, and then like I feel like there's gonna be, you know, eventually this is gonna start affecting like our government type of like.
Yeah, it already is.
Because I feel like I really feel like I've not heard this anywhere. I don't know. Like all these people are going to come over here and then all of a sudden we're going to be like, oh, they can vote too. You know, then we have a whole nother problem on our hands that we've allowed these people who probably don't know much about anything except what's happening right now for them because they have not been a citizen to live here or to pay or to give money.
And I heard something about where they were going to try to allow certain immigrants to vote.
That
especially
is a fear
in this upcoming election.
And I think everybody should be very, very afraid of that. Because at this point, like now, I'm almost like we're going towards the directions of having the dependency of needing assistance because we're having to pay out so much and needing so much assistance to just live. Even as an American citizen.
Absolutely.
You know, with inflation going up, gas prices, food, you know, what's going to be left for us for ourselves? And I'm not talking from a selfish standpoint. I'm just saying what's going to be left for me?
Just as a citizen.
What do I get?
Because you said,
I am a citizen that pays.
Because like you said, they're almost like taking away from the U.S. citizens to give to other people.
Right.
So like you said, to some degree, there's going to be like some type of disparity. But at the end of the day, the way that you can affect things is awareness. And I feel like sometimes with this whole trafficking thing, I feel like a lot of times someone says something about it.
But clearly that's not something that we can stop. Like
you'll see like a news headline here or there.
Say stop.
Right.
Who cares what I say or what I think?
Yeah, it's going to have to be a whole system to make it stop. But I'd
be curious to know what other people think about that. I just do. Like, I don't know how people are okay with knowing that this is what's going on. Our integrity in general, I feel like, is being compromised right before our eyes. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. But the people that, like you said, the powers that be. And right now, nobody's undoing anything that's really being undone right now, because I feel like a lot of things that are in place for that, our security, our safety, our kids, our health, our everything is just being compromised, like to some degree. And I'm not saying like every person that comes over here is sick, every one of them has something wrong with but I am saying like, I don't know how far or to what degree or what extent we're going to protect Americans first.
I have no idea.
Our businesses, our culture, our food, our water, like everything.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like the way that everything is being governed by the powers that be. Right now, you being a U.S. citizen isn't necessarily the priority right now, put it that way. And the best way to know that is the things that's going on around us, just like you said, losing benefits, taxpayer dollars, the breach of our security. Obviously, you being a U.S. citizen is not being put first.
Because then I feel like eventually what's going to happen, like they're going to allow this to go on for so long. And then there's a possibility that then we'll start paying people, regular people like you and me, to house these people. And then they're going to get money to house these people. And then that's a business, you know, like, well, I could just keep a couple families in my crib.
Well, that's another expense. You know, expense on top of expense on top of expense. But yeah, just going back to like this article and this clip, it's literally like eye raising and gut wrenching to see everything that he's talking about, and for Dr. Phil to be interviewing this man, and he's literally like telling it all.
Because at this point, I don't feel like we're being built up. I feel like we're slowly being torn down, like piece by piece. And it's like one little thing after the next. And before it's like this little trickle effect. And before you know it, it's like, what are we going to be? Like, how strong will our defense system really be amongst keeping outsiders that shouldn't be here out? Allowing people in and helping them and building them up to keep America wonderful. I mean, obviously, we've been doing this for years, right? But not on this scale.
Been going on for decades, yeah.
Not on this scale.
And like they said, you know, when you think of like great empires throughout history, when you take Rome, like Rome ruled for 100 years, and then one day
it just all crumbled.
Rome crumbled, and they say every empire has its day. Yeah. And it's like if you don't take the steps, if you don't do the right things as far as internally, you'll crumble internally. You know? Yeah. And, you know, with the $1 trillion debt, with, like you said, with the issues with security, you almost feel like we're going down the drain to a degree. Yeah. And it feels like it, because there's so many issues, there's so many things that's just going on that just, I feel like it's just affecting us in a negative way.
Right. And I feel like like whoever gets elected, however this election goes, like whoever it is, man, they're going to have to, there's a lot of things that they're going to have to fix. Like,
well, you know, like Joe Biden, he's supposed to be doing a State of the Union speech talking about the Great Reset. So we're going to have to see what that's all about.
The Great Reset. Okay.
That shit sounds scary, don't it?
The Reset. Okay. Let me move
wherever
on.
They at. Please don't hit that. I mean, hey, please don't hit that reset button.
Damn reset. We gonna reset, y'all. This is the Great Reset.
That shit called the Great Reset.
The hell is the reset? I don't want to be a part.
When I heard that, I'm like, shit. I just got scared. I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not even gonna hold you. I got scared when I saw that.
What is a reset? Okay.
Tennessee mom arrested after posting pictures of 5-year-old daughter waxing a nude woman.
What?
5-year-old waxing.
She did what?
Let me read the article, okay? Let me go further. A Tennessee woman has been arrested after allegedly posting pictures of her 5-year-old daughter performing a wax job on a nude woman.
No, that's disgusting.
On Monday, the Memphis Police Department arrested 30-year-old Jasmine Moss.
She should have been.
And charged her with child neglect. The department's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force was alerted on February 15th to images that went viral on social media.
Why?
See, everybody want to go viral.
See.
And it was depicting a minor performing a wax job on a nude woman. All right. So first of all, I had to look into this a little further too. In order for someone to be like an esthetician, that's someone that does like waxing and all those other things. Yeah. Like you have to at least be like 16 years old in the state of Tennessee to even be performing it, to even be involved in it. First of all. And then second of all, for the child to be 5 years old and for someone to have the bright idea of wanting to share it with the world, I just don't get it. And I feel like people do so much shit these days just to go viral on social media or to put their business out there, and it gets their ass locked up.
Okay. But did she say what the purpose? I mean, okay. Because here's the thing. Like, I feel like I see girls that have like, especially like makeup influencers, like, I see it on Facebook. I see it on YouTube where they teach their daughters how to do makeup at a very, very young age. And the little girl will get on there and do her mom's face, and it'll be on point. Okay, I'm talking about little kids, 3, 4, 5. Not probably like 3, like 4, 5, 6 years old. These are little kids
learning how to do makeup on their mom. Okay.
So I feel like I understand maybe what she was trying to accomplish. But when you start talking about like body parts being exposed
and nudity
to that degree, like that's I can't.
That's a bit much.
That part I don't wrap my head around, because I feel like there's no way in hell. You got me fucked up if you think
right
for 1 second.
And we're talking like a Brazilian wax.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not just saying like, oh, I'm finna show you how to wax somebody's arm. No, we're talking like straight up in between the pelvic area, like nudity, like a woman's private parts, like all of that.
That's beyond disgusting. That's gross, and it's like, you're gross.
That was one of the things that I saw under the comments. A lot of people saying like, how could she do this? That is gross. That's disgusting.
And why
would
as
you?
a woman, you better get your damn child. Like, I feel like if I walked in a room and they're like, okay, I'm gonna bring my 5-year-old in here to do your wax, I am leaving.
Yeah.
Period.
And just to give more context on exactly what she was doing. Now she's running like a business, like for herself out of her home, right?
Yeah.
And there's already like certain regulations regarding like Tennessee, how you have to like run and operate your business as far as like compliance issues, right?
Yeah.
So you can't even have someone under 16 even in the realm of even doing something like that, because one, it's dangerous. You know how hot that damn wax is, even for an adult to be tampering with it and handling it.
Right.
So now you have a 5-year-old that you're trying to show a 5-year-old how to do a wax on a woman. And like you said, I get what she's trying to do, because she's trying to like teach her daughter like the empowerment of going to business for yourself, which is cool, but in no way, form, or fashion should she be exposed to this type of like nudity in women.
Okay,
even
so
though she's a little girl and she's looking at women, it's just inappropriate for her age.
Right. Okay. Which goes back to what I was saying where we started. I'm like, so she was trying to. I know where she was going with that, which is why I was explaining with the whole makeup thing with kids and stuff. And it's like, oh, you taught them how to do this and be really good at it actually at a young age. And that's awesome. But where is she going to be able to go and utilize that? You can't send her off and say, hey, we got clients that are here for you, little baby.
Right. She can't go into the 1st or 2nd grade, this isn't anything that's conducive to her growth and development at 5 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you could teach a kid like entrepreneurship without having to teach them that, like in particular, she's clearly not ready for that.
And again, let me just read a little bit more. Moss used the Instagram page to promote her hair removal services, police said. And 3 images in one of her posts showed the young girl applying wax to exposed public areas of adults.
Like, why would she? Okay. Even if it was that, why not teach her how to like wax an arm, finger hairs, eyebrows,
the nose,
the
face.
There's so many other things you could teach. Like, even if you were trying to
go
teach
that
her,
extreme
right.
to
so
have
for
her doing that,
like, it's unacceptable. And I don't feel like there's any excuse as to why you would be exposing your child to something like that.
Right.
If you want to teach her, like, okay. If you want to post and be like, oh, look, she's applying the wax on her arm or her face, and she's doing a lip wax. Like, that's different.
And she's not even watching. It's like she's like involved. Like she actually has her 5-year-old involved in like actually applying the wax. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is another case of when social media goes wrong. Social media screwed us all up, especially anybody.
But it's not even social media.
Anybody.
It's not only that, but watching it or the perception. Because if you think about porn is the same way.
Yeah.
People think, oh, well, she do this and you're supposed to do, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's not reality. In fact, that shit probably hurts, but they make it look good, and then you think that that's what she's supposed to do or that's what he's supposed to do.
Oh, that's what she's supposed to do to me or for me.
Right. And that's not
Yeah.
the average person can't even move like that.
Right. And that goes to like me asking like another question is like where are we going these days when it comes to like social media? Because I feel like it just gets out of hand. It just gets out of hand. People consume it too much. They spend too much time on it. And after a while, it's almost like people are living through that.
Right.
It's like you're literally living through it. It's like you're perceiving life through social media and what happens on social media on a daily basis.
Exactly.
When somebody's only giving you maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes out of their day, you don't even know everything that's going on because there's 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
And they're only giving you that 1 minute of something really quick, something quick clip or quick reel, and you see it and you get influenced by it.
Right.
And I feel like obviously social media is there to influence people.
Those are what influencers do.
Right. But it should be for motivational purposes only.
Right.
And it should motivate you in a positive way, not to go out and try to emulate what you're seeing on social media if that's not what your life is like.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Perfectly put.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of where she like I said, and I understand where she was coming from, but I also feel like she was chasing the clout on that.
She said, yeah, especially with your daughter on there.
But you ought to like, you got to be dumb. You just got to be stupid.
You got to be dingy
to
do
think
some
that
shit
you
like
can put a kid on there and like, come on,
and performing that type of an act.
Yeah,
when everybody know that
you could have showed this kid waxing anything else. Literally anything.
It almost made my blood boil because I'm just like, what are people doing with their kids? and not even that, to go to the length that you want to show it.
But that's the reason why, and that is the reason why, like, I keep our kid, like, y'all very rarely see our children, like, unless we put them on our vlogs.
Yeah, and like I said, you got to keep the kids like off basis. Like, don't say nothing about the kids.
The kids are off limits.
Yeah, kids are off limits. You can say anything about anything else that's going on, but when it comes to the kids
is off limits.
Keep the kids out of it.
The gloves
that's all I'm
come
saying.
off. Yeah,
keep the kids out of it.
Sure. Anybody will tell you the same thing.
That's a fact.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you heard about this? And I had to ask you about this because I've seen it multiple times, and it's been a little while since we've been on here, but I've been itching to ask you about this. So I saw this article. This is from Telegraph. Trans women's milk as good as breast milk, says
wait.
the NHS Trust.
Wait. Okay, breast. You said trans?
Yeah. Drug-induced chest feeding liquid comparable to that from mothers when it comes to baby nourishment, claims the hospital.
That can't be real.
Let me just go with allegedly. Okay. Allegedly. And this says,
this is a head scratcher.
Right? An NHS trust has said that breast milk produced by trans women who are assigned male at birth is as good for babies as that produced by a mother who has given birth. NHS Trust said that the milk produced by trans women after taking a combination of drugs is comparable to that produced following the birth of a baby. The hospital trust, which runs Royal Sussex County Hospital and Royal Alexandra Children's Hospital, among others, was also the first in Britain to use the term chest feeding in place of breastfeeding.
Man.
Because it is considered by some to be more inclusive. The trust created what is called Britain's first clinical and language guidelines supporting trans and non-binary birthing people in 2021. Drug to develop milk-producing glands. These were subject of a complaint last year by the Children of Transitioners. The organization was founded by a woman whose father transitioned in effort to provide advice for children in a similar situation. The hospital defended its claims, referring to 5 scientific papers dating back to 1977 and pointing to World Health Organization, aka WHO, guidance and overwhelming evidence that human milk is better for a baby than formula milk.
That's true.
So I don't understand.
That's true.
What makes you think that you can put a whole bunch of stuff together and this person takes things to produce milk versus because with a mom, I feel the whole purpose of breastfeeding is to give baby the nutrients and the everything that they need that comes in the form of
the nourishment.
Breast milk. Yeah, but
that
that's
liquid gold
built within the mom to basically be attributed to the kid that comes out of them for that exact reason. Mm-hmm. So how can you mix something together and formulate a formula
That's going to be better.
and say that it's as good as the milk coming from a naturally produced breastfeeding woman?
Right. My whole thing regarding that and regarding like women breastfeeding, like everybody knows, like, you know, they call it liquid gold because, you know, it has everything that a baby would need as far as its early development. Basically, there's nothing that you can do to breast milk to make it better than what it is. It's already golden. That's not even like a natural thing for someone to be transgender, but then they can produce milk. That's not something natural that you can find in nature. That's not natural.
Well, let me tell you how natural
Well, come on, tell me.
it can be.
Man, no, I don't believe it.
For a person born male to breastfeed, they must develop milk-producing glands by taking the hormone progestin. A drug is required to lactate, such as domperidone.
See?
I don't even know how to say that. Domperidone, which is often prescribed to women struggling to breastfeed and helps to stimulate the production of prolactin, a separate hormone that tells the body to produce milk. Domperidone.
Domperidone?
No.
Is it? Are you talking about the rosé?
Domperidone, also known by the brand name Motilum, was not intended for this, but is prescribed off-label by doctors despite the manufacturer. Janssen itself recommending against it because of possible side effects to a baby's heart.
Uh-oh. See? Come on. It's all unraveling.
What? Motilum may cause unwanted side effects affecting the heart in a breastfed baby. It should be used during breastfeeding only if your physician considers this clearly necessary. I
see a lot of red flags.
I
just don't believe this propaganda, and I just feel like there's an agenda behind that. I'm not finna say it's coming from LGBTQ or any of those type of organizations, but I just feel like there's a certain type of propaganda. There is an agenda.
But maybe, I mean, I'm okay. I'm just trying to see both sides of it here because that is true. When you have problems breastfeeding, like some women have problems. Hell, I did. I had problems with it. And then you have to find a natural way. At least you try before you even start getting anything else involved in it. You try to find ways to produce more, like to make your milk, like all these things, right? Eat better, drink a whole bunch of liquids, like all these things that help you continue to produce, and not only produce, but produce
good milk,
like on an ongoing basis where you can continue to pump throughout the day and so on and so forth, right? But to me, like, I think any woman probably would agree with this, that the last thing they want to do is start getting like medications involved and having to take something or
to help you produce milk.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would think like most physicians probably would warn against it for that exact reason.
To try to stray away from it, because anything that a woman ingests when she's breastfeeding, it's going to come up in the milk.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know how safe or comfortable I would even feel knowing that I had to take something to produce
something you should be doing naturally.
Something that comes naturally, and then to continue to have to do that to keep producing it when it should already be produced on a natural basis, like you, because
whatever a woman produces should be sufficient enough to maintain your child at that age. And you know, I don't want to go too far or too deep into it, but I think one of the reasons why women are running out of breast milk to where they don't have like a sufficient amount, or they can't do it for as long as a duration like they used to do it, is because of the food, as far as like what you're putting into your body, processed foods. So I think from that standpoint, to be able to produce breast milk the way that you need to starts with the diet, starts with what a woman is putting into her body, like you were saying, like drinking the right fluids, you maybe being on a more vegan diet, something that's just more healthy to your body,
right,
that can help you do that. Because I think there's studies that show that based on like what women are eating these days, what they're putting in their bodies is actually causing them to produce less breast milk. You know? Yeah. And then to go back to what you were saying, to prescribe a woman Domperidone, Dompio, whatever the medication is that they're taking, like you said, I just feel like that's like a slippery slope. And now they're trying to say that we can synthetically help a transgender person produce milk, and it's going to be just as good as liquid gold that a natural, that a woman naturally can produce. I just don't believe that. Like, I just feel like there's way more behind that.
I don't know. There's just something.
It don't stand. It don't even feel right.
It doesn't.
And like you said, and everybody know we don't have nothing against anybody that's gay, anybody that's a lesbian or transgender.
I just don't think that that's okay. Like, I don't know how you feel like
chest feeding.
That's almost like somebody that has not had a baby, man, woman. Even if were a woman and you haven't had a baby, and then you put a baby up to your breast, and then you're like, oh, I'm breastfeeding them, and you know good and damn well ain't nothing coming out. You know this. But to me, it's like in a way, I'm like, there's something up here that's not right.
It's not registering.
If you think that you are really legitimately feeding this baby and you know that that's not what you're doing, like, you know it.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, I can see, like, if you have problems, then you have to, like, you are a woman. You did birth a baby. You do try to produce as much as you can, and then all of a sudden, like, it stops, or something happens where it's just hard. And for some women, it is just hard to do it. Like, for me, like, I struggled with it, and I did it as long as I could,
remember.
but it just seems like it didn't matter what I did, how much I ate, like, it just, I don't know if I just had a juicy baby or what, like, all three, like, I had a lot of problems with maintaining breast milk. Like, I did it and it was good for a while, and then all of a sudden it would just
tapered off, and it was kind of like a sudden thing.
Yeah, it would just almost like it would just stop overnight. Like, I didn't do anything to make it stop, and then I would do all these things, eat all this stuff, take all this gross food and everything, like, shove it in my face to try to produce, and it was not happening. And I'm just like, I could not understand it. But I don't know. I just felt like once I accepted the fact that I had to give my kids, like, formula, I was okay with that. And I wasn't gonna like I'm okay with that, but I don't know. Like, I think the one thing that I was against the most was to have to take something, because I was so afraid whatever it was that they were going to give me would be something that the baby could not have.
Right. And then
shouldn't have.
And it could have a potential side effect on you too.
Side effects.
And you were just sitting here reading a couple of side effects too. So I just feel like anything that, again, like I said, you're taking any type of, like, synthetic medication, they all have some type of downward type of, like, side effect to some degree.
Man.
So whenever you're involving taking, like, medications to do anything, especially something so delicate and something so pure as, like, breast milk and taking care of an infant, like, I can't even get jiggy with the whole chest feeding. That don't even sound right to me.
Chest feeding and breastfeeding are now one of the same.
No, it's not. it just reminds me of Meet the Fockers. You remember when Jack
he was walking around with the boob.
He was walking around with the boob.
Talking about it was, like, best for the baby and stuff. Like, stop, man. Stop.
There is nothing like a real natural woman that can produce natural breast milk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And all the mamas that do it, because it is time consuming and it is hard.
Yeah.
Shout
out to the mamas.
Right. It is hard to do, especially for a long period of time. Like, shout out to all the dedicated mamas out there.
When I see, when I see things where women are doing it for like a year, I'd be like, man, more power to her to be able to do something like that.
I couldn't even do it longer than like 3 or 4 months. Like, every time I had a baby, it was like 3 or 4 months, done. It was just cut them off. Like, that's it. That's all you get, So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I tried everything, y'all, for a long time.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out, but.
So y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes from Asia and BJ X the Script podcast.
Yeah.
If y'all are streaming right now, make sure y'all hit that auto download button. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and for lending y'all ears. And like Asia always say, if ain't nobody told y'all, man, we love y'all. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate the support. And until next time, and just know next time will be real soon. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.